Hello and welcome to TOI Auto folks, and this here is the Magnite EZ Shift, a convenient and affordable automatic option for buyers who are looking for the first time car or even their first time SUV. And in this video, I'm going to be focusing on how this AMT 5-speed is to drive. So let's start. Okay, so now we are out on the roads driving the all-new Magnite EZ Shift. Now, in terms of equipment, this is basically a 5-speed AMT gearbox paired to Nissan's naturally aspirated 1-liter petrol engine that produces a very humble 71 horsepower and 96 Newton meter, 97 Newton meters of torque. The good thing is that the torque does come in as soon as 3500 RPM. And the peak power is generated well beyond the 5000 6000 RPM mark. Now, coming back to the 5-speed AMT, how does it perform with the engine that has been on sale with the Magnite for quite some time? Well, without mincing any words, I would like to say that the low speed performance and the get up and go from standstill is very rough and jerky. It does not feel natural at all, and it seems like the gearbox and the engine are struggling to coming to terms with each other. It is the same story when you are trying to reverse this car. The car jerks and feels very rough, and the acceleration input is not translated into the kind of movement that you are expecting from the vehicle. Now that is a big point of concern that I found during my initial driving impressions of the Magnite EZ Shift. Moving forward, once you get up to speed, everything becomes very smooth, and the gear shifts, while they take their own sweet time, they are pretty smooth and get the job done all the time. Then, to get more control over the things and how they are happening and how the car is performing, Nissan is offering the option for you to go to manual mode in this 5-speed AMT. Now, while that gives you better control, and for me it resulted into a better driving experience overall for the EZ Shift, somebody who is not used to controlling the gears and is only interested in driving an automatic car, they will have to come to terms with the EZ Shift gearbox and its mannerisms and how it really likes to function. It will never rush a gear change if you really want to. However, one good thing that I noticed in the manual mode of this gearbox was that let's say I'm doing 80 kmph and I've put the manual gearbox on the 4th gear and I want to make a quick overtake. So if I will push the pedal down, the car will automatically shift a gear down and allow me to make my overtake maneuver with a lot of ease. Now that is something that showed that Nissan has put some thought behind this gearbox and how it operates. Apart from that, the Magnite has always been a very comfortable SUV to drive. The NVH levels have always been very well contained in this SUV, and the handling characteristics are pretty civil as well. The 16-inch alloy wheels means that there are pretty fat tires slapped onto them, and those also add to the comfort factor of the driving of this Magnite SUV. So while everything else in the Magnite remains the same, coming back to the 5-speed AMT, who should be looking at this car? Well, I have two answers. The first answer is somebody who is buying their first car and is not very confident in their driving capabilities and simply does not want to, go through the hassle of driving a manual car just because they don't want to shell out a lot of money for a CVT gearbox that this car also comes with in its higher trims. The second answer is the Magnite AMT is also a good option for households which have two drivers but one car. One driver who only knows how to drive an automatic and another who can drive both automatics and manual. That is a point in case that I see the Magnite EZ Shift solving for its customers. In terms of price, the automaker has already indicated that it will be very aggressively priced and will undercut other AMT SUVs in the market. And the indicative pricing that I can tell you right now for the AMT version is between rupees 6 to rupees 8.6 lakh. Now that is a pretty good deal, and considering the two use cases I discussed with you earlier, I think the Magnite EZ Shift fits really nicely into a spot where it might find a new audience.